New this morning, the largest wildfire in Texas state history is continuing to blaze across the Panhandle. What conditions are making it difficult for firefighters to stop the flames?
Plus, the Biden administration announced a delay in a key part of its signature climate plan. Why talks won't continue until after the 2024 president has been named.
And one Indiana family celebrated more than just a birthday yesterday. We have more about their leap day luck. Get the coffee ready, open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good morning. You're waking up with Cardinal weather. I'm Abby Urban.
And I'm Luke Barnes.
It was definitely cold this morning, Luke, walking to the studio, but
Absolutely.
I'm hoping it'll warm up. You excited for spring break?
Very excited for spring break. I unfortunately don't get to leave town and experience any warmer climates anywhere else, but let's toss it over to Ryan for our first look at weather.
Yeah, not very spring-like out there, folks, as far as temperatures are concerned, but we had a nice sunrise. Still clear out there right now. A little bit of maybe some odd echoes there on the radar. I'll talk about some showers in my full forecast, but right now look at that 28 Muncie and 30s to the south of I-70. But as you get out the door, you can this will help think warm thoughts. 56 for a high today after coming up from the 40s. So, talking about that sneaky system, we could have some showers in our day. Groovy 70s are coming back, I'll tell you where, and more thunderstorms, all that and more in my full forecast. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Conditions are primed to pump more fuel into the largest wildfire in Texas state history. Weather Service issued a fire watch for the area extending into the weekend as warm weather and winds return. Gloria Pazmino is in Fritch with the details.
We got a lot of houses to protect there and not many trucks.
The fight to get raging wildfires under control in the Texas Panhandle continues as the death toll rises. The Smokehouse Creek fire claiming the life of 44-year-old Cindy Owen. Family members say the truck driver was working when flames swept through the area. Owen was unable to escape. She's the second known wildfire victim. 83-year-old Joyce Blankenship also died during the blaze earlier this week, according to her family. The Smokehouse Creek fire is the largest of the 4 wildfires tearing across the region and spilling into Oklahoma. Officials say the rough terrain is making it difficult for firefighters to stop the flames. Strong winds and brittle vegetation are expected to continue feeding the fires. On Thursday, President Joe Biden committing federal help to people impacted.
So we're standing with everyone affected by these wildfires. We're going to continue to help you respond and recover.
In the meantime, local groups like the Austin Disaster Relief Network are working to get much-needed supplies to people who've lost their homes.
For homes that have been destroyed, we have buckets that we're have prepared and positioned to make available.
Reporting in Fritch, Texas, Gloria Pazmino.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is heading to the Panhandle later today and will hold a press conference to address the ongoing crisis.
The Biden administration announced it would delay a key part of its signature climate plan until after the presidential election. The EPA said it will move forward with finalizing standards to cut emissions from existing coal and new natural gas plants this spring. However, the EPA say it will cut existing gas plants out of the proposed regulation and begin work immediately on a separate rule for existing gas plants. The move would, quote, achieve greater emissions reductions than the current proposal because it would focus on a bigger range of pollutants and air toxics. But the process to propose and enact new federal regulations is lengthy, and a new rule would not be done in time before the November election.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is encouraging families that want to have children through in vitro fertilization to come to Illinois. This comes after the Alabama Supreme Court ruled frozen embryos are children, leaving many concerned about being held liable.
IVF is protected here in the state of Illinois. I welcome the members of the General Assembly who are looking at new ways for us to protect doctors and patients on IVF, but it is protected.
Days after the ruling, Alabama's Attorney General issued a statement saying he has no intention of prosecuting IVF families or providers. Alabama's High Court based their ruling on the Dobbs decision, the landmark U.S. Supreme Court case that overturned Roe v. Wade.
Leap Day babies have one of the rarest birthdays as it only comes around every 4 years. And as Sarah Mackey shows us, for one Indiana family, the lucky birthday bridges generations.
As it got closer and closer, we kind of realized, oh, it's definitely going to be past midnight. So yeah.
Arriving after midnight at 12:40 a.m. this leap day, this is baby Molly Grace Dobbin, 7 pounds, 6.5 ounces, 19 inches long. A leapfrog hat to cap off her achievement. Now the youngest of 3 siblings. Her mom, Carly, originally laughed at the thought of a leap day birthday and didn't bet on it.
Yeah.
Instead, new big brother, 3-year-old Ryan, correctly guessed this special day.
We did at home have on the calendar what each of us thought the birthday was going to be, and Ryan, our youngest boy, picked today as his day. So
We had high stakes. We had an ice cream cone from McDonald's at stake. So
yes.
looks like he's the big winner.
He would be thrilled. Be thrilled. I could feel him smiling down on us today.
Baby Molly's great-grandfather, Martin Kinney, was also a leap day baby. This would have been his 96th birthday, or 24th leap year. The Dobbins say, like Molly's great-grandfather, they will usually mark her birthday on the 28th with some ideas on how to celebrate.
Go to Dairy Queen. Yeah, Dairy Queen.
Since her birthday will always be a special day.
Worldwide, there are less than 5 million people with February 29th as a birthday. That is really interesting. I don't know if I had a birthday on the 29th, if I would celebrate it on the 28th or the 27th, but...
I'd probably go with March 1st.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah,
that is true.
start of
That's
the
very
month,
true.
start the new month off on a good note, celebrating your day of birth. I've always been interested in the people that, keeping track of that every 4 years.
I feel like I would lose track, but it's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, we'll take a look at temperatures across the country.
That's after your weather now.
Welcome back. It was definitely colder this morning, but I'm hoping for a warm up again.
Oh yeah, well I hate to let you down, but here in the Midwest I think we're only going to get a little bit cooler. Especially, and it's not even the only region of the country where we're going to see these cooler temperatures as we head into the next couple of days. In fact, as you look out towards the West Coast, you're going to see 53 degrees in Las Vegas and 55 in Los Angeles right now, and it's only going to get cooler over these next couple of days. We'll talk about why here in a moment. As we turn back to the Midwest, 28 in Muncie right now, 38 in Kansas City. Again, we're going to only see a slight warm-up as we head throughout the rest of the day. Over here, again, in the Midwest, 43 degrees in Cincinnati. You can see all this cool dark blue right here. A little bit warmer down here in the south, 67 in Pentecostala if you're heading out down south for break. But let's also look at tomorrow's highs, because that's where we're going to see systems develop across the country. 61 degrees in Las Vegas, 65 in Denver. You're going to see this big blob of blue out there. That's all cool temperature. It's going to warm up here, though, out on the East Coast, 62 degrees in Atlanta. That's because we're having two different systems develop in the country that are worth talking about. You can see over here on the radar, you can see patches of snow and a little bit of rain here on the West Coast as you warm up a little bit. Looking on the other side as well, East Coast, you can see this line of storms moving up. You can see more intense weather here down here towards Atlanta. You can see the yellow and the orange down there. As we move into develop as well, you should pay attention to the jet stream, because here on that West Coast, you can see this blue and green transition right here. That's where you're going to see the cooler air start to move down. And there's actually a cold front sitting right around here in between Los Angeles and LA as well. And you can see, we can watch that develop as well, but there's current watches and warnings surrounding that. Down here, this is actually a fire watch right here because we have these very dry conditions before any moisture is able to move into the area that's currently all hanging out on the west coast. Over here in this dark red orange, you can see this is actually a blizzard warning going on right now on the east coast. So if you're going out to California over the next couple days for break, definitely going to watch out for that. If you're over around 4,000 feet, they're getting around 6 inches. That's crazy, but I'm not going hiking anytime soon. So looking at our precision cast, you can see the low here. We're going to watch as these 2 different cold fronts develops as they extend out of that. You can see it's going to move slightly more into the interior, and over here down in the south of California, you're going to see that cold front stall out. So that's where you're getting that blizzard warning. And over here on the east coast, you're going to see those storms move up along the coast, and that's why you're going to see those developing temperatures as well as we warm up, moving a warm front, bringing those storms with us. Below average temperatures out on the west coast, no surprise there with what we just talked about. And over on the east coast, you can see above average temperatures warming up again as that line of storms heads up along the east coast. And you're going to want to pay attention to that again over these next couple days. East Coast, West Coast. Actually, funnily enough, the middle of the country here in the Midwest is where you're going to see the most favorable conditions over the next couple of days. So I guess you might want to cancel your travel plans if you plan on going places anywhere soon. I know I'm very excited for break. I will not be leaving Muncie, actually. I'm quite tired, and I'm just going to sit in my room, and I'm going to take a nap.
I will be going back to Illinois, but it's only 3.5 hours, so I'm excited. We'll have warm-ish weather, which is what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere either. A week worth of sleep would just that'd be beneficial for me.
I cannot wait.
Well, thank you so much, Ian.
Of course. Coming up, we have your headlines in health.
And that's after your Weather Now.
Who's escape?
Welcome back. The time is 8:13, and you're taking a live look outside the Foundational Science Building here on campus. In your health headlines this morning, more than 1 billion people in the world are now living with obesity. A new global analysis points to a rapid transition of malnutrition in low to middle income countries. The study looked at the height and weight measurements of over 220 million people from more than 190 countries. It estimates that obesity rates among children and teens quadrupled between 1990 and 2022, and more than doubled among adults during the same time period. In all, 879 million adults and 159 million children were estimated to be obese. The study also found the number of people who were underweight fell in most countries.
A new study finds long COVID could cause a cognitive decline of about 6 IQ points. The New England Journal of Medicine study looked at more than 140,000 adults who did an online cognitive assessment in 2022. It found those who had COVID symptoms and recovered lost about 3 IQ points compared to those who never had COVID, and those who had COVID symptoms for 12 weeks or more had lost 6 IQ points. But researchers say the losses may not be permanent. They point out those who recovered from long COVID, by the time they did, the survey saw the losses shrink back to the same level as those who recovered quickly.
The Food and Drug Administration says certain types of forever chemicals will no longer be used in U.S. food packaging. Wednesday, the FDA announced materials like fast food wrappers, microwave popcorn bags, and pizza boxes were a major source of exposure to certain types of PFAS. The hormone-disturbing chemical has been linked to variety of health effects, including certain cancers. In 2011, the chemical stopped being sold in the U.S. due to safety concerns. The FDA estimates it could take another 18 months after the products containing the substances are phased out. So far, 12 states have moved to ban or phase out PFAS in food packaging.
If you have food allergies, listen up. Chick-fil-A has recalled its Polynesian sauce due to allergy concerns. My favorite. The fast food restaurant says the cups may contain wheat and soy allergens. Chick-fil-A advises customers who were handed out dipping containers from February 14th through February 27th to throw them out.
Well, it's definitely been a little colder, but I'm hoping for a warm-up. What do you got for us, Ryan?
Yeah, I'd like to recall that winter weather, please. Thank you very much. I got to tell you, pretty chilly all around the area. I woke up to see some frost on my vehicle, but at least that's going to start going away. We've still got some sun out there. 28 in Muncie, around freezing I-70 and southward. But folks, take a look at this. Ian was talking about temperatures that are going to be much warmer than normal over the next 6 to 10 days. How about right now even? 6 to 7 degrees, traveling I-69 down to Indianapolis, even a warm-up. Double-digit warm-up over what we were at this time yesterday. Wow. And even under the clouds. But you see, I think this is the reason right here. See how they're coming up from the south? You've got some southerly winds that are kicking in. And you'd think, yeah, it's going to warm up, and it will. But you do have a little bit of wintry precipitation. That's here on the map. As you can see right there, it is snowing, at least the radar's telling us that. But that might actually have to fight a little bit of that warming weather before it really ever gets to us as far as snow is concerned. So over the next 12 hours, we can really illustrate that pattern. We're getting up to 46, way too warm for that to even stick, folks, and I'm pretty sure we could get changeover to rain later on this afternoon and the evening. But then tonight, I've got to tell you, not bad for a low temperature this time of year, 39 degrees. That's kind of that turn towards above average sort of stuff, but you're going to have to watch out because that moisture that's going to be hanging around from this system is going to contribute to some foggy conditions. There's going to be a little layer of warmer air aloft, and you've got that cooler and more moist air towards the ground, and that creates that fog situation. So precision cast, timing out that rain. We really get it through during your lunch hour, but it starts to clear overnight, and this is where your fog and cloud concern is before we clear it on out later on Saturday. Cue up that weekend forecast. It's beautiful. 57 is already above average, and that clearing sky during the afternoon will help make it so. But we make our way to Sunday, I gotta tell you, 68, pretty darn groovy, breezy, I gotta tell you. So good kite flying weather, folks. But as we make our way to that 7-day forecast, we're going up from there. 72 on Monday before a chance of late showers and thunderstorms. We've got a slow-moving system and a cold front trailing there, and then we don't really cool down all that much because over the next 7 days or greater, it looks like the pattern will kind of remain sort of, you do have that cold front that brings a little quick shot of cooler air, but you know,
we've definitely
not
had
bad.
some weather whiplash these last few weeks.
Oh,
from
heck yeah.
70 to 20 to back to 60 and back to 30. So
my body's feeling the whiplash from severe weather coverage on Tuesday into Wednesday. So we're definitely appreciating that here in the weather department.
well, thank you so much, Ryan. Coming up, our sports team is live in Indianapolis with the future of the National Football League.
That's after your weather now. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Last year, the Sports and Fitness Industry Association deemed pickleball as the fastest growing sport in America for the third year in a row, and Ball State has decided to get in on the fun. Newslink Indiana's Max Robson visits the rec center to see some rallies.
As the new semester rises, so do new clubs. One club, however, flies above the rest, garnering 32 members in its inaugural semester. Co-founder Cole Laughlin has a one holiday to thank for the pickleball club.
I played tennis throughout my whole high school career, and then I think it was at Easter a couple of years ago, my grandma got me and all my cousins a pickleball set, so we started playing that day we got it, and I just kept playing it throughout high school and into college, so it's just been fun.
This single Easter present from his grandma helped propel Cole to create the newest club on campus. But bringing this idea to life isn't as easy as just reserving a room.
So initially we contacted the rec center, and with that we got to the contact of Alex Sutton, and he directed us through all the steps, getting safety officers, everything. He helped us with all of that, just try to make the process as easy as possible.
For some, pickleball club is a good time to relax and de-stress while navigating through college. But for others, the small court and fast pace is exactly what they are looking for.
I think my favorite thing is it's still so intense even though the court is so small. It's I've played tennis before, but I feel like this is, it's a lot different, but it still has a lot of the same qualities. So I think that being able to just go out and play on a small court, but still be intense is just a great experience.
This club looks to keep soaring above expectations and continue to grow over the semester as the sport continues to grow nationwide. In Muncie, Max Robson, Newslink, Indiana.
A lot of different things happening for sports, but the combine started yesterday, and we have Andy, Max, and John there right now.
Yes, we do.
Definitely with the different NFL things. So.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the NFL draft this year. It's always exciting. It's actually the last year that Indianapolis gets the chance to host the NFL Combine, and we've been kind of praised as one of those cities in America that is great at hosting events, large events like this for professional sports leagues. We just had the Indiana All-Star break, or the NBA All-Star break not too long ago, and now we're hosting the NFL Combine. It's exciting.
Well, it's definitely, I think it'll be a fun time. I've never actually been, but I know they were super excited. It started yesterday, and they were there early, and now they're there early again this morning. So I know they were excited to talk to all the different people. Well, we're going to take a look at breaking down the science with Olivia.
Thanks, guys. So today's topic for breaking down the science is lake effect snow. And we see this often in regions around the Great Lakes. We can see when cold, dry air comes down from Canada, this polar air combines with the warm waters in the lake, and that water vapor rises. And we'll get back to you about that in a minute.
Welcome back. This morning we're breaking down the science behind lake effect snow.
We've got Olivia by the whiteboard to walk you through it.
Thanks, guys. So yes, today's topic is lake effect snow, and this happens around the Great Lakes region. We can see here cold, dry air comes usually from Canada, and this polar air mixes with the warm water from the lakes, and that water vapor rises, and we get this temperature contrast between the cooler air and the warmer air, and and that creates clouds and this unstable atmosphere. And as this moves over the land, the cooler land temperatures will create this snowfall in heavy bands as the wind really fuels this system and kind of determines where the snowfall will occur. So we usually see 2 to 3 inches per hour with lake effect snow events. We can see this one about 19 years ago. A wintry mix. They weren't really expecting it to blow up the way it did, but it got fueled by this low pressure system, and southwestern Michigan saw 18 inches of snow, and northern Indiana saw 13 inches of snow. It was really, really fueled by those northwestern winds, and the upper peninsula of Michigan sees more snow, which makes sense. They're closer to Canada, seeing more of that polar air. And these are all of the ingredients that are used to forecast lake effect snow, which is why it's so difficult for meteorologists to predict these events. They can be influenced by orographic lifting, which can occur when that air is forced to rise over mountains, and that can create more instability in the atmosphere. Also, irregular coastlines and the length of a body of water can influence the event, as well as the winds, the temperature gradient, and the moisture, obviously, just from the initial start of the event. So overall, the wind direction is the main fuel for this, and then we do see this temperature gradient, which occurs in the initial stages of the event. So especially in winter months, you're going to want to stay weather aware. And we do see these events in northern Indiana like we did 19 years ago. So just stay aware of that through these months.
Well, thank you so much, Olivia. And we're going to look at one final weather with Ryan.
God, I was supposed to remember that.
What are we looking up for the next 7 days?
Hey, how you doing out there? Oh, we're back? Cool. I've got some great weather to tell you about. See that 72 right there? Given the fact that we have a lot of the troughing held off to the further to the west, I got to tell you, those temperatures, I've warmed those up right there. We've lowered kind of those chances of showers, but we do have that thunderstorm chance. Not as strong as we were talking about this past Tuesday. Not as much energy with that, but I got to tell you, bringing back those 70s, making things feel more like May in the middle of the first week of March, that's incredible for this time of year.
Definitely is really good with that weather, but thank you so much, Ryan. And remember we were talking about the combine earlier? Well, Andy and John are actually here with us to talk more about that. Andy, John.
Thank you, Luke and Abby. We're here at the NFL Combine. I'm Andy Newman.
I'm John Kleemeyer here.
Yeah, and we're here at the NFL Combine. This is our second year in a row, at least the two of us.
Yes.
And it is a lot of fun, actually really enjoying everything, the entire atmosphere. As you can see right behind me, there's absolutely something going on, and that is actually Jaden Daniels, the Heisman from this year, talking to the media. Obviously, a great atmosphere. I always enjoy the Combine when we come along, and it's been great. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's been great so far this year. Yesterday we came tight ends, defensive backs.
Yep.
Kind of something the Colts might be targeting in the draft this year. Obviously, last year they got their quarterbacks. They don't have to worry about the guys today, but obviously it's a great atmosphere. This is the biggest day of the Combine by far. It's all the skill players. You got running backs, receivers, quarterbacks. It's a talented class too, Andy. So
oh yeah,
it's a great time.
I mean, and there's one of the best quarterbacks I think in the draft. Obviously, right now is Bo Nix, and he's got almost nobody at his stand just because there are so many crazy talents here today. Last year there was only about 4 guys that everyone was looking at in the quarterback position, and one of those was Anthony Richardson, who the Colts found as their big guy. And now, wow, I think that's Jaden Daniels that is just walking up next to us right now, which is pretty cool. Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of talent this year, and Jaden Daniels kind of came out of nowhere and won the Heisman. But the guy that everyone's going to be looking at this year is obviously Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is a generational talent, won the Heisman 2 years ago. And I know that this is Hoosier country, and there are a lot of Colts fans in the area. I know that there are some Bears fans here, and they're going to be looking at that number 1 overall draft pick in possibly Caleb Williams. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's there at number 1. You know, you have the number 1 pick. You literally take anybody in the draft. You also have the option to trade away, keep with your quarterback in Justin Fields. But, you know, opportunities there if you want to go take it. And I think it's a great opportunity for all these guys to just show their talent and just be able to, you know, just give their best effort on this day, talk to the media today, do workouts tomorrow. And I think it's just a great atmosphere, like I said earlier. But, you know, Caleb Williams, generational talent, like you said, Andy. And I think Jane Daniels, one of those as well that just walked by us. But, yeah.
And then, obviously, a big headliner for, I know that he is not going to, he probably won't be a Colt, but for a lot of people here in the Hoosier State that are Colts fans, know the name Marvin Harrison and know the name Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the headliners, one of the best players and talents in this draft, will be coming up here in a little bit. We're going to go over and talk to him once we're done over here. But Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously grew up in the Indianapolis area with his dad, Marvin, got the Colts a Super Bowl. Excited to see him and excited to see the rest of the Combine has to offer. I really appreciate our time being here. And
it's a great atmosphere. Really excited for these athletes today.
Thank you so much for your time, and we're really enjoying it here at the Combine. We'll send it back to you guys.
Well, thank you so much, John and Andy. That's all for Cardinal Weather this Friday morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your Friday and a fantastic spring break. For our Ball State students and faculty, have a good one.